The entire front end of my Ferrari is disintegrated. So everybody says to me, your channel really blew up right about when you crashed your 458. So that was really good for you. And I always laugh because that was the same week I had just started consistently daily vlogging. I know from the analytics that that's what was allowing me to quote unquote blow up. After 6 years of doing YouTube videos and hundreds of thousands of dollars of my own money, and my wife practically almost wanting to kill me every couple of months when I bought new car stuff or wanted to buy a new car or had this big idea. In 2012, for almost an entire year on Facebook, I had the exact car that I had bought on my vision board. So I had bought my dream car, literally my dream car that day without really even knowing it. So it's an exciting process to get a new car and then want to build it for YouTube marketing purposes. Without almost even really explaining to my wife, I take about $100,000, which was really the investment we had set aside to buy a house, and I sink it into this car, building it. And I didn't want to do the traditional Liberty Walk kit. I wanted to make it look more like a race car. So I go out and I search around and I find out that I can buy actual Ferrari Challenge parts that I could add to this kit to make it look a little more unique. I buy the Ferrari Challenge race wing, which is chassis mounted and costs around $20,000. I end up buying the all carbon wide body GT3 race mirrors, which look really cool, which change the look of the car. And I buy one race seat, the red bright race seat, and the harnesses, which are all astronomical. Like, I see why Ferrari makes a killing off of the race division. The parts are very expensive. At the time, the Red Bull F1 race team had actually wrapped one of their F1 cars in what looked like a manufacturer's prototype camo. And so I kind of steal that idea and I wrap the entire 458 wide body in this crazy black and white, really abstract lines going all over the place. Pattern made no sense. And what that did was it gave the car this presence that no other car at the time I had seen online really had, which was this crazy design with my company's logo branded into the doors and the hood. And to kick everything off, I thought, I'm going to do a road trip down to Monterey and vlog the entire trip. And then I'm going to film all of Monterey. And that's going to kick off the channel of me being an automotive YouTube vlogger. And I go through Yosemite National Park and I go visit some friends in Las Vegas and I stop in Sacramento and I'm meeting some of the people who followed Daily Driven Exotics at the time, which we were really small, like under 50,000 subscribers. And we were doing maybe 1.5 million views in a complete month. And I think this is just the perfect way to start, that revived my channel. We film all the festivities and I'm driving the car around and we get to the very last Sunday of Monterey. And there's this little organized car rally that I've been a part of for a while. And it was my second year driving with them. And on that Sunday, they do a drive in the morning. They get about 50 to 60 supercars together. So a lot of people who follow the channel and were excited about the car and excited about what we were doing with the car came out to drive with us. I have this beautiful new car that I've spent the better part of 6 months planning, $100,000 building and modding, plus the $260,000 investment to get this car, all in the hopes to build up my channel to make the money back so my wife doesn't kill me. And we're going around this long sweeping left-hand turn. And we had kind of separated from the pack because as I come around the turn, there's a red light. And so I stop for the red light and all the cars in front of us go through the light. If you're at the lead of the pack, you are kind of the leader. Everybody behind you isn't really watching the route map or watching on GPS where the route is. They're just kind of enjoying themselves and following whoever's in front of them. So it's like follow the leader. So I'm kind of getting a little nervous because I didn't have the route card map out because I was doing the same thing. I was intending on following people. So I said to my co-pilot, Chad, can you quickly grab the route map and figure out where we're going? So he grabs the route map and he's trying to figure out, light goes green. I start to drive and we're out in the middle of the country and we're driving down this road, and a big long sweeping left turn comes up again, and the very first possible turn off of the road we were on is approaching, and it's a right-hand turn. There's no road to the left, so the road goes around this long turn, and then there's this one right off to the side. And I kind of try to slow down, and we're trying to read if this is the road to turn on, and it's too late. We overshoot the road, and Chad goes, "That's the road." So I go, "Oh crap," slam on the brakes, pull off to the side of the shoulder, and I come to a stop. And I see other cars on the rally who had overshot that turn also now starting to come back oncoming, and they're waving their hands out the window, turn down that road. And I'm like, yeah, we got it. A whole bunch of cars behind us have now slowed down or are pulling over. And there's like 30 or 40 cars behind me. So there's this mess of cars. So I said, okay, hang on. We're just gonna turn around here. And I basically do a huge shoulder check, which I can see through the corner. There's kind of cars all over. And I didn't see anyone coming towards us. So I went to pull out onto the road, and wham, just like that, the entire front end of my Ferrari is disintegrated. I kid you not, it was so quick. I did a shoulder check and I checked the mirror. A young man who was a huge fan of Daily Driven Exotics, covered in head to toe DD merch, God bless him, hat on, hoodie on, had his mom and his sister with him, brought the family out. He's the one that had the least amount of kind of rally experience in the 10 closest cars to me. And when everyone kind of pulled over, as I did, and the other guys I knew with more experience and kind of had that forethought to go, oh, we were supposed to make that turn, everyone's going to pull over and turn around. He just kept ripping, and I guess was thinking this was his opportunity to kind of catch up to the DD car to get close to us. And he just came flying around that corner at a decent amount of speed. And I didn't see him in the time that he had covered that distance. And basically I pulled out right in front of him. Thankfully he did swerve a little, or else he would have hit me in the door. I might not even be here, to be honest. And he drove right through the front end of the Ferrari. The car that was his like iconic idol car that I had just built, that he just wanted to be near, totally destroyed. My entire investment dream of building this channel out the window. And I was just in that moment really lucky to be alive. Had that car hit me, maybe a foot further down the door, maybe no legs, maybe dead, including my co-pilot, who's a good friend of mine. We'd done a lot of rallies together. Chad goes, "Are you okay?" I'm sitting there frozen, kind of looking out the window, holding the steering wheel. And I said to him, "Are you okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm okay." He goes, "Get out the car. It looks like it's smoking." And it was just steam and stuff from all the coolant and stuff up front that had been torn off. But he jumps out of the car. He's like, "I don't know if the car's on fire." We're all in shock. I just sat there for a minute and was like, what do I do now? My investment for my home that I talked my wife into letting me put into this business is gone. I just was like so many thoughts. So I get out the car finally, and we're on a car rally. There are at least 100 people with cell phones and social media filming this. And my first reaction was to just tell everybody, hey, look, out of the privacy of the event, as well as, my own well-being right now, can we all stop filming this catastrophe and make sure that the other party down the road are at least okay before we film this? And we go down right away and make sure that the other people are okay. Thank God they were okay. No major injuries. Small little bump on the head, unfortunately, of the mom who's in the passenger seat. But other than that, we have just 2 wrecked cars. And you can buy new cars. You can't buy new lives. The kid, though, is absolutely distraught. We're trying to calm him down. He's just so upset that he ruined this car. He's like, I don't want to be known as the guy who wrecked the DD tire slayer. And I said, don't worry, man. It's just a car. I'll buy another car. We'll make it even better than the last car. And so we're standing there, and the fire department shows up and the police show up, and it's just this huge train wreck, and the car just gets dragged brutally up the tow truck, and everyone's just kind of standing around holding their heads like, I just can't believe this has even happened. And I'm standing there going, I can't believe this has even happened. And that was the end of my Monterey car week. But my insurance company only covered me up to $5,000 for aftermarket parts. However, I learned a really valuable lesson in building cars that if the manufacturer had a part number for that car, that was considered a part that was covered. So if we go back to the beginning of the story of when I built the car, I bought Ferrari Challenge wing worth 20 grand. I bought Ferrari carbon fiber GT3 mirrors, Ferrari front racing seat harnesses, and they covered all that stuff. I thought, my wife was going to be super upset, and she was really supportive. She was like, I'm really glad you're okay. Everything's going to work out as it always does. We just got to stay positive about it. And she really brought me back up. And from that point forward, I started to look for my next car. And that's when it was funny. People to this day say to me a lot of the time, Damon, your channel has really taken off. It's really blown up, even though I've been at this for 6 years. The same week that happened that's when I started to kind of almost daily vlog. And it's the consistency that I know now of putting content up consistently every day, or even the consistency of what the content is. That's what really grew the channel. And so that's my one piece of advice to anybody looking to build social media is don't go out and crash a 458. That is not how you build a channel. That is not how you build your social media. It's the consistency of the content. And as you put out more and more people come on, and more people share, it's the snowball effect. It's like anything.